Dear Jay, being able to call someone your son or daughter is one of the greatest privileges known to humankind. The responsibility is profound. Children don't choose to be brought onto this spinning planet. And though we hope that each new life comes from a place of love and care, too often a child is a byproduct of carelessness or selfishness. You don't get to choose your parents, your moment of birth, or even something as simple and important as your name. These are privileges of parents to carry out with care and compassion. It's not a light and airy thing, being a parent. Or at least it shouldn't be. So here, Jay, I call you son, my son. But too often I feel like a fraud when I use this word to describe you. I feel like a fraud because I have not been a good father. I have not worn the mantle of being your parent with due care. I have not lived up to the privilege of your existence. I have not walked beside you in the ways I know you have needed. In fact, and it devastates me to say this, there are days when I don't feel like your father at all. Those words burn a hole in me, and I wish I could never even bring them to mind, much less write them. But I have done so, and I must bear the weight of those words, here, now, forever. Some days I'm convinced that we were closer when I was in prison. But prison has a way of skewing all things. The brutality all around you, the sense that your humanity is somehow on hold or contingent upon others. I now realize that the memory of our being closer while I was inside was one of the illusions I had about being a father. I thought the letters we exchanged, the irregular visits, and the few yearly phone calls were solid enough bridges to keep us connected until I was released. But what were they really, compared to the days, years worth of them when I was absent? Have you ever seen the film of the Tacoma Narrows Bridge? It was a suspension bridge up in Washington State that couldn't handle the wind. It swayed often and eventually buckled and fell into the Puget Sound. That was what it was like to base my hopes for us on those letters, calls, and visits. Eventually, things were going to collapse under the pressure of the air. I now realize how wrong I was, how impossible it is to forge bonds of familiarity under the oppressive weight of a prison sentence. I was so bent on trying to connect with you and guide you down a different path that I didn't stop to think about the path you were forging on your own, on the other side of the bars. How could I have done so? Being a parent is complicated, in or out of prison, but in prison, impossible, perhaps. Add to all this, as it must always be added, you were a black boy. Childhood for anyone is a burden. I have no idea where the idea that childhood should be carefree comes from. And being a black child is harder. We are burdened with the lack of overt affection, and we are not invited to try out the world as innocents. From the start, the world treats us like little men and women. We are told to suck it up, to be tough, that emotion is weakness, that the cold world is coming for us, so we'd better be ready. Still, you were so innocent once. A little boy I wanted to protect from all the terrible things that young black boys face. So many terrible things, things that an innocent child couldn't conceive of. Was I supposed to tell you all of them so that you could avoid them? Was I supposed to hide you from them like Moses in the rushes? Which way should a parent of a black child turn? To honesty or to obfuscation? These thoughts swirl around in my mind still. They're like monsters just beyond the edge of the yard, moaning and keening on a humid summer night, there in the black trees. I try to ignore them, but every night they're there. I wanted so hard to be a good father to you, Jay. But here in the calm of my yard in Los Angeles, with the monsters whimpering from the dark streets beyond the fence, I find myself thinking back to the beginning and imagining all the things I wish I could have given you when you needed me the most.